Hello, hello, hello. You are here with Dave Jose once again, dropping another fire video with some PCAPs for your kneecaps. Guys, why is Dave Jose coming to you today? The reason I'm coming to you today, guys, is because we all know that I have a few haters out there, but they're also emulators. There's people who don't want to do what it is that I do, knowing that it works, because they work with other people who want to do what it is that I do and they don't know how to make it work, so they can't do it exactly like I do it because it shows that they're following me. So they try to find another way to do it. They try to work outside the box, and I kind of wonder, I don't know if they're purposely leading you into the hands of the deep state, but they are definitely leading you into the hands of the deep state. Now, I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody. The one group that I stopped working with that actually would not turn in one of my affidavits to the people. They didn't want to put it on their site when we had a chance to go after Dumb Onion. They decided not to put the affidavit up. We had an issue about it. I told them I'll never give them anything to put on their page again. Later on, they apologized. I accepted the apology, so I'm not tripping. You haven't heard me talking about them. But they do have a affidavit so-called on their page, the same type of affidavit that made Trump lose every single case. I really believe that the attorneys who put these things together are purposely letting the people fall into the jurisdiction of the deep state and of corrupt individuals in courts ran by the Bar Association who don't want to give people justice. So what I want to do is show you a picture of this so-called affidavit. It's really not an affidavit. An affidavit must have an affiant. An affidavit must have some other things and is not there. But I do want to show you some obvious things, and I wrote on the document so y'all can see it. And then I want to take you directly to the place where you can actually see the definition of what the words mean that they're saying, and they don't have any idea what they're saying, or they're purposely setting you up to fail. So anyway, people want to show affidavits and show what it is that happened in Maricopa County, or they want people to put in testimony of what happened to them, which is good to have a space to let people give testimony. Josh Barnett and I did that when we set up affidavits to go against what happened in the 2020 November situation, and we left space, and those documents were called affidavits. The other documents that the attorneys did that got kicked out in every case was called spam. And even the attorney who worked with the, I believe I don't know if he worked with the legislature, but there was an attorney who put together these documents and the judge said, wouldn't you agree that you agree with me before we came out here that these were spam? And that's all they were. They were not filled out correctly. They did not have the right jurisdiction. And we told them weeks ahead of time it was going to happen. They were going to get kicked out and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this so-called affidavit that these people are putting out on their page, and they're trying to get you guys to sign. If there's other people not involved with this, I'm not trying to aim this at anybody because I don't know who put it together. I know there's some good people out there trying to get affidavits collected, like Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. He's on the good side. He's one of the guys who really fights for affidavits. So if people are connecting him to this, I don't know. But he's one of the good guys, so I would never talk to shame him. He actually fights to get audits. But there's some other guys who don't really like me, and they're trying to hide what it is that I do. So I'm going to show you guys the foolishness that they get you caught up in that will make you lose. Now, guys, if you are one of the people, you stand in the highest standing of the state, and I will prove that. If you are a person, that word does not mean the same thing. And these are affidavits for Arizona, not really affidavits though. And so I'm going to use it to prove to you. So let's look. Let's examine this thing. Okay, so the first thing we have at the top, it says person filing. First of all, guys, your documents don't have to be filed in a court, number one. So you don't have to be filing an affidavit when you could just be given an address to the legislature or notice, or you're trying to give this to get it out to the people for the public record. So person filing. So first thing I want to do is look at this word person. Now, I don't want you to take my word for it. person does not mean man or woman. And I'm not going to just say this. I'm going to prove it to you. Now, somebody sent me this so-called affidavit from a person's page called Populist Revolt. Let's look at the definition of person. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at Arizona Revised Statute number 1, General Provisions. And we are going to go to 1-215, which is the definitions. So you see this is from Arizona. It's not me making up anything. I'm showing you guys what the actual documents say, which these people should do when they're dealing with you, but they don't. And they are trying their hardest to do it their own way and build it their own way, which people should research and do things based on what they know as truth. But the sad thing is when you don't study and you don't look up what you're doing, you have a problem. Now, let's look at the word person, okay? Now, what you're going to notice is these persons are all words that are corporate entities, either by being at the state, the municipal subdivisions, and other entities. Now, an individual, guys, does not mean man or woman either. Individual is here with all corporations. It means a corporate entity if it is here. So let's look and see what the word person means. And let me know if that's you. Person includes a corporation, company, partnership, firm, association, or society, as well as a natural person. Now, what you're going to understand is natural person is a legal entity, and you cannot define the word person using the word person. But watch this. When the word person is used to designate the party whose property may be subject of a criminal or public offense, the term includes the United States, this state, any territory, state, or country, right? Or country, or any political subdivision of this state that may lawfully own any property, or a public or private corporation or partnership or association. When the word person is used to designate the violator or offender of any law, it includes corporation, partnership, or any association of persons. It did not say people, right? So when they get you to sign a document that says you are a person signing an affidavit, that does not mean man or woman. That does not mean man or woman. You will also notice that the attorneys can file it. Attorneys are part of partnership firms. They're part of associations. They function as entities of privilege by the legislature, right? They get certain abilities to do certain things by privilege. So this is not the same thing as one of the people. That's the first thing I wanted you to look at. That out of all your options, the first thing they do is say you're a person filing. Well, this definition, person, corporation, company, partnership, firm, association, society, or natural person, is not you. First of all. So they're already throwing you in a bad jurisdiction by using bad words. But let's go deeper. Okay, so now we look even further, and we have where it says at the bottom of this top part. Well, let's look at it. It says lawyers, bar number. So they're acting like somebody's doing something on your behalf. Licensed fiduciary number. They're acting like they're acting on your behalf, like if it's a guardian or something like that, right? Now, look at the last part. Representing self without a lawyer. If you are a man or woman, you present your case or prosecute your case. You don't represent yourself without a lawyer because you would be doing the action that an attorney does. An attorney represents someone because he cannot present the case because he has no knowledge of the case. He is not the one who is dealing with firsthand knowledge and as one of the people. If you are representing yourself without a lawyer, they're going to say you're pro se, they're going to say you're pro per, and they're acting like you are a professional attorney working for yourself, and that you're going to have to follow all the rules of statutory garbage and all of the political garbage that they're going to put in your way to block in their administrative courts. You can't just come speaking under the common law what is true, what is right, what is real based on the law. So this is how they got Trump to mess up. This is how they killed all his cases, by the jurisdictions and the words being wrong. So let's see more. Okay, guys, so let's look at the a couple of the states. Now, if we just go to New Jersey, Constitution Article 1, Section 18, that's their rights and privileges there. The people shall have the right to, and it tells what they could do. One of the things it tells you they could do is petition for redress of grievances. So the people have a right to have their grievances redressed, right? Now, notice it also says in the judicial canon, a judge shall accord to every person who has a legal interest in a proceeding, or that person's lawyer, full right to be heard according to the law, right? Look at New York. A party may prosecute or defend a civil action in person or by attorney. Now it says in person. That's your proper person, guys, like being sui juris, right? Be able to handle your own affairs. That does not mean that you are representing yourself. That means you are prosecuting your case. You are not representing your case. You are prosecuting your case, right? People laugh at me because one of my documents said prosecutor. And they don't realize that the people have the power to prosecute, right? They think that only the government has prosecutor. But when you are pursuing someone who's done wrong, that is what is called prosecuting. All right. So I want you guys to see this because people think that they know what they're doing when they tell you that you are you're representing yourself. That's not what you're doing. All courts shall be open, and every man for an injury done him in his lands, goods, personal reputation. Now notice this talks about every man, as in one of the people, has the right to go after people who injured them in their lands, good, person, or reputation, right? Shall have remedy by due course of law, and right and justice administered without sale, denial, or delay. See, they can't even deny you remedy when you are bringing your case as a man who has a right to redress. So they want you to think that you need to represent yourself, and then they're going to treat you like you're an attorney, and you got to follow all the rules that attorneys follow so they can get you out of your claims of what belongs to you. This is a dirty trick, and how they have hid the truth from us for year after year, guys, and stolen from the people. They have tricked us. They have made us pay for every single case. See, when somebody steals something from you, the case should be free, and you should not have delay or denial because you're coming and making claims of what is yours by right. When you are an attorney and you're representing somebody, you don't have a right to what's happening. You're representing something else. But what happens is the attorneys will let you get into a case, let you argue over things and fight back and forth, rather than standing on your clear constitutional protections that they should be speaking about. They want to argue over statute. They want to argue over other things that are not the highest law, and it makes no sense. Look in California, Constitution, Article 1, Section 3. The people have the right to, right, petition the government for redress of grievances, right? So, guys, we got to understand that there's a difference between the word person that is being used in the statutory realm and the things they do, and the word person when it comes to the word that refers to a man or a woman who has a office or a seat or a political like a political office or something of that nature. So these people will try to say that everybody is a person in the sense of a corporation, association, partnership, or something of that nature. And those are entities that you gotten your rights from from the government. Let's look at Hawaii before we get out of this. No law shall be enacted abridging the right of the people to petition the government for the redress of grievances. So you can petition any part of government, the court, the legislature, or the executive branch. So with that being said, if we are going to put together affidavits and notices, should we be coming to them in the form of persons representing ourselves when we are ourselves? Should we not be people prosecuting our own cases and issues? Should we not be making our own claims as one of the people who have all rights? Or should we be coming as a person who has rights and privileges that are given by the state that can deny your case? A person can have their cases denied. One of the people cannot be denied, as you just saw. We have the right to get redress of grievance, and there should be no delay, no purchase, no denial. Okay, guys, so there are more situations inside of that document that need to be looked at. We do need to understand jurats and not just acknowledgments, or we need to understand how a jurat is to be done, and we don't need to do jurats based on how most attorneys would tell us, if they tell us we need to do it, that we need to do it. But guys, I want you to see that there is a group of people going around the nation and trying to lead you to do stuff. And that's good that people try to lead you to do stuff, but they need to understand what they're doing so our time is not wasted. You know, there's people who will walk away from us for whatever reason because their relationships to attorneys or guys who are acting like they are helping the people who are not getting it done. But guys, I don't really know very many attorneys in the whole nation that are really trying to win this fight and have you stand in your right status, or who know how. So it's nothing personal, guys, but you got to be careful when people got you filling out stuff thinking it's going to work. That can get kicked out of a court over and over again, and nobody's going to slow down and explain to you what you're really doing. So guys, here you go. The documents that are put out there, this is not a good affidavit. It's not even really an affidavit. It's a document that purports to be an affidavit, but it's not an affidavit. All right. So you could just go look at Bouvier's work and you'll find that the definition of an affidavit shows that that's not what this is. So anyway, guys, if you're trying to give evidence for what's going on, what happened on the 3rd, you know, we already created a document that we served the people in the Arizona legislature with that stood, and we actually got it put inside of a Supreme Court case, and it stood. It didn't get kicked out like all the other cases in the nation that couldn't stand by itself. All right, so there you go, guys. I want you guys to see this because just because some of the people who got a problem with me, you know, who are promoting certain pages and groups and guys, just because they have a problem with me doesn't mean that I won't slow down and show you guys the truth about where they're making an error and protect you guys, because had Trump had listened, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. It would be totally different. And we see that our Arizona legislature has listened and done what it was that we gave them to do. And we had the only victorious audit anywhere in the country that is a full forensic audit. So guys, it's not by mistake that we keep winning and people keep losing. But it comes with people gaining knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Some people don't care for that. Some people want to stick with their teams and all that garbage. But for you guys, here it is. This is real knowledge. Don't get caught up in the hype. This video is yours. I will catch y'all later. Y'all be cool. Peace.